we have. You love this one. This might. If I had to wager a guess which one's your favorite, I would say it's this. The Dogs of War. I wanted to say the whole quote, and I couldn't remember exactly what it was. I was going to butcher it.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
And that's Julius Caesar?
Yes. And the back in those days, I think the dogs of war, maybe they were soldiers or maybe they were actual dogs. It's like you've basically conquered on the battlefield and now you just pillage and burn.
Yeah.
I think it's basically what it means.
Cerberus would be considered a dog of war in my cauldron or squadron. Do you know who Cerberus is?
With
right?
three heads?
He's the dog of hell, yeah.
Oh.
Protects Hades. I love Roman history. This movie isn't about that, but I do really appreciate the reference. Another Willem... No, it's not Willem Dafoe. It's freaking Christopher Walken. I was working on an impression of him for the episode that we did this, and I can't do it. Just
trying to do it.
Well,
That's not bad.
You call me. You want?
I didn't say keep going. I said that wasn't bad.
Dogs of War. We'll be there.
That was. I like when I was younger. I used to love stories about, and there wasn't that many of them, but like it was an exotic type movie because it was about
Africa.
Well, it was about Africa. It was about mercenaries. It was about, I don't know, just like, I mean, him acting super cool whenever, it was just...
He is badass in this movie, without doubt.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it begins, you immediately know he's Tommy Tough Nuts.
Yeah.
Not in like an over-the-top type way either, where you're like, okay, I could fucking kick Christopher Walken's ass.
He's just hardcore mercenary, where, I mean, just... Try to do your job and survive.
Too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they did this with Will Smith in Suicide Squad, where he plays the Deadshot. And I love DC anything. Mm-hmm. As with Marvel, like I do really like those characters. But they made it such a point to make sure everyone knew he was a Billy Badass. Meanwhile, he's getting cucked out by his wife, but we won't talk about that. I just, you know what I mean?
We had to talk about it on our podcast. Remember that time I cheated on you? That guy had a big, you know what?
Like, it was annoying.
That was a terrible movie.
It was a terrible, but that's one of the cardinal sins that did. This movie is the opposite.
Yeah.
You come out of that liking Christopher Walken a shit ton.
Right.
Thinking he's badass, but they never beat you over the head with it. Actions.
No, his acting does it. His acting does it.
And then he gets the shit kicked out of him. And they're like, yeah, you got pretty fucked up.
Oh,
they're like, they like broke your skull.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to die soon. Sooner rather than later. Not like years, but he's like, yeah, they took some years off the back end of your life. Which, if my doctor says that.
So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed what you've had because it's not going to last forever.
I hope you don't like skiing. It's kind of out of the cards now.
So, yeah. I don't know. It just... the movies back... Or, I don't know. Just certain movies are made... They seem so authentic.
This does very much that.
Yeah.
And I like... There's other things, and I want to look just to make sure... I don't know if this was 81 or if this was in the 70s. It was in 80. So it was on the precipice of a different decade... Which...
But that's still a 70s movie, though.
It feels way more 70s than 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the news reporter, when he gets ran over by that car, I was like, that is the type of death that you see in 70s movies, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they were picture perfect, man.
Yeah.
Like, it captures that real life, like, holy fuck, I just saw something really, not disturbing, but it's like... the atrocity of life.
Yeah.
And it's that quick, he's dead, and like it kind of sinks in a way that like if you really saw someone die, you'd be like, what the fuck? That guy just got ran over by a car.
My favorite line from the movie, I'm almost sure, there's maybe another movie this is from, but I don't think, and you can tell me if I'm right. Someday we're going to go to war over rice. Did somebody
It's
say
the
that?
only one that I can recall. But
Was
I
that in the
remember
movie?
that was in the movie, yes.
But the reason I like it is, in essence, everything's about survival. It's like, we want to do the right thing, and we want to be, but when it comes right down to it, life is about pure survival, being able to eat. And that's what it's about resources. I don't know what, aluminum, bauxite.
I don't even think they even ever say.
They don't really say, but they wanted they want to install a puppet leader and mine the crap out of the place, which is, they did a lot of that in the 60s, 50s and 60s.
Yeah, they called it the...
Rush for Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is... they have look at it now, dude. There's like little African children who are dying on their way out of mines, and they're just grabbing whatever mineral we need from their dead hands.
They are. Like, cobalt is a big one.
Is that because of EVs?
Yes.
It's used in batteries?
Yeah, there's two of them. There's cobalt.
Lithium?
Lithium. And I think most of lithium, one or the other, comes from, like, somewhere in Africa, the Congo, I believe. Well, the other one comes from China, primarily.
Yeah, because I know China makes a lot of EVs, too.
Yeah. And then they have the raw materials. And we buy those, and then they also use them in manufacturing. Yeah. But they say which one it is, I think it's the cobalt mines are like third level of hell.
Fun to work in?
Ugh. Not that I know, but I would think it's just child labor. It's just, in a big pit. Yeah, I can imagine. And, like, Africa has a ton of, like, they're very resource rich when it comes to...
What's a huge continent?
Yeah, very true. If you took North America...
Blood diamonds are African diamonds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But, a lot of diamonds, the majority of diamonds do come from Africa, but like any continent, underdeveloped as Africa is, like, for instance, like in Europe, is all mined out, essentially. Like, there's no copper, there's no iron, because they've been mining there since, like, the 1400s, or maybe even before that. So it's like all gone. They say France has no natural resources. That's why at one time, I don't know if they're so into nuclear power, because they didn't have any fossil fuels.
Well, smoke them if you got them.
That's exactly what they... it's like, we need power.
Yeah, what do you
want
us
to do? We have the lights
do?
on, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to shower, but, we want the lights on.
So, let me start with the definitively good. Like, the film is gritty, like you said. It captures the feel, too, of this kind of sweaty...
There's a big butt coming.
Not yet. This sweaty, uncomfortable country like Africa. Yeah. Where I'm actually... I've teetered a little bit, because I first brought this up to you right when I watched it, was the brevity of expressing character traits with Christopher Walken, was that actually a really good way to present things, or could they have let things soak in more? And I've actually kind of wrestled with myself on this. I think both could work. Maybe my...
Well, he's a pretty simple character. Really, like, so he had that girl who was... I can't remember. She's an actress, a well-known actress.
I don't know.
She was in...
I didn't recognize her.
She's an actress. I'll look it up. But she was in the movie The Big Chill. I don't know if you didn't see that.
I didn't see it, no.
So that was his... But I think it was like a high school girlfriend. Or like shortly thereafter. Like, he didn't go to college, all right? He probably went into the military. And then he got into, like, being a mercenary. And the woman, he wanted her to settle down with him. And she's like, you can't... I know you. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. So he's a simple character. It's right. Like he just couldn't be normal. We really, really would like to be, but he isn't. And
he's a tragic character.
Yeah. But he's a mercenary. There's people addicted to war. He's addicted to war.
To conflict. Or I guess war, whatever. But he seemed like he obviously became disenfranchised with it on this mission, because he realized what being a mercenary entailed in this specific scenario.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah,
you
I
guys
agree
are
with you.
fucking everyone over, and like he understands the dynamics of the country in his short time there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you have a madman who basically sold out his country, and you want to install someone who is that exact person. Except
Well,
you have more control.
One
over
wanted to
him.
be God, one wanted to be what?
Rich.
Right.
True. Yeah.
Well, it's the same type of thing, though. They both basically want to be a dictator king.
Yeah.
Just for different reasons, you know?
And he meets the doctor who he's like, this is an actual...
Good person.
Yeah. So, I'm taking it. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I think actually the brevity is good with it because it just communicates it. You don't need to sit on every single scene. You can get some magic when you do that, and there wasn't as much magic as I wanted.
Okay.
And I think that's why I felt that yearning for like, let these scenes stretch out and let's get to something that we...
Jo Beth Williams is...
See, that
is the
name
girl.
doesn't even...
She's an older actress. You wouldn't know her. She's probably in her late 70s now. But she was well known back when she did The Big Chill. And she was in this one, although at that time she probably wasn't known.
Oh, The Big Chill was after Dogs of War?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a good movie, The Big Chill?
It's okay. Where's she at? Yeah, Jo Beth Williams. It's about these kids that went to University of Michigan. They are all like intelligent and like, you know, they're like not elitist. I don't know how to explain. You know, they're bright kids.
Preppy?
Kind of, yeah. And then they're all successful now, and one of their group commits
Seppuku.
and that's what the word "big chill" means, is death.
I
And they
didn't
all
know
come
that.
back. Well, I'm kind of just assuming that's what it means. I don't know,
Oh.
but I assume it is. So they all come back for his funeral, and they talk about how they're, you know, back then they were like revolutionaries, kind of, you know what I mean, and now how they've compromised their values for real life. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, it was well received. I mean, it did. You know, it was a well thought of movie when it was out. But
Yeah, it's just like...
I mean, it would. I mean, if you like drama, I don't think you would like it. But I wasn't
Everything's
crazy
drama.
about it.
Everything's drama.
Well, yeah, you might like it. Good people in it. Goldblum's in it.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yep.
I like
Tom
him.
Berenger, who was also in Dogs of War. Do you remember him?
Which one? I don't even know if you'd be able to... I can't remember.
Did you see
anyone else.
Platoon?
See the guy with the huge scar on his face?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he was in it. William Hurt, Glenn Close, Kevin Kline,
Even
Goldblum.
Kevin
Oh,
Kline.
Costner was in it? I didn't know that.
Ooh, Kevin Cost.
What's how he played?
Yeah, but the Dogs of War, I liked it. Anyone else who watched this, kind of give me your take too. Did you feel that way? Because it
Yeah.
was rated surprisingly low on Letterboxd.
Yeah, you said that, and I'm thinking, well, you know, you have those movies you watch when you're at a certain age or whatever, you're younger, and
Sticks with you.
yeah, it's just I love this movie, you know, and that was like, there's a lot of Bond movies I felt that way about. I just loved them because they were exotic, and because back then you didn't have, you know, they'd be in London and they'd be in, you know, Siberia, and or not Siberia, whatever. But like there was always generally 3 locations for a Bond movie.
That's very valid. Yeah, that's a huge aspect
Yeah.
of a Bond film.
Yeah.
It's like, we're in Morocco.
Yeah, now
Now
there's
we
always
have to
an
go to
exotic
China.
element.
They should go to China.
I don't know about that. You ever see Spy Game? You got to watch Spy Game. You got to watch it. It's got Redford.
Kids.
They're different.
How do you feel about Robert Redford as an actor?
Well, in this, I really liked him. Otherwise, he doesn't really do anything at all for me. I don't think
Yeah.
he's all that. I don't think he's a very
I
good
feel
actor.
similar. He's good in All the President's Men, but there's other stuff I've seen him in where I'm like, I mean,
He just kind of, he doesn't, I don't know. But anyway, he was in this, and Brad Pitt. And you gotta see this movie. Well, I shouldn't say that, because there's certain movies I really dig.
Yeah.
Dogs of War is one of them, and Spy Game was another one. I think you'll like it, though. I think it's very good.
I do like spy films. After watching all those Bond films, I was like, I actually like this.
Good spy film, to me, there is nothing better than a good spy film.
Yeah.
in my opinion, because I liked them from when I was, a
kid.
kid. I loved them. I just thought they were awesome.
Dogs of War, I gave a 3.5 out of 5.
All right. Well, I loved it. I'm going to give it a 4. I just loved it. Now I haven't seen it like in a very long time.
4, you just for your.
I know 4 means
No,
80%.
you're gonna have to rank them at a certain point.
Okay.